So someone commented, Bethany, what books do you recommend that have helped you gain your humble and wise perspective? Oh my God! I nutted so hard. Dude, I can't tell you how much that made my day. That made me feel so good. I mean, I would feel good naturally on my own, but that was definitely something to enhance and make my day just that much better. So thank you so much. Y'all are you gassed me up so hard. But okay, so I will answer your question though, because you get some brownie points. You get brownie points. Flattery can work on me. It can work on me. It depends on the situation. You have to read the situation. Okay, but back to the question. So I feel as if I actually haven't read many books from the cover to the end. I'll pick up a lot of random books and flip to random pages and then read that like one chapter of a book and put it down. It always seems to be the right thing though. I always get what I needed to hear. You always learn something and then you're like, oh, because otherwise there's like too much pressure and I put too much pressure on myself. Like, oh, you have to read. Once you pick a book, you are stuck with that book. You cannot read any other book. And if you do not read this book from front to back, you are a failure. You suck. Go bleh. And it made me really hate reading. As growing up, I used to love reading fantasy books and just a bunch of random books that weren't educational, but they were just fun reads. But then as I got older and I was like, oh my God, you need to fix yourself. You are a complete train wreck. And why is your life a complete train wreck? So that's when I started being like, oh, I need to read a bunch of self-help books. I think the only self-help book that I enjoyed from front to back was You Are More Influential Than You Think. That book really touched me. I still have it. I still have that book. But other than that, I've learned like a really valuable lesson. You gotta do things that you enjoy. Like there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing. And so just read what makes you happy. Go to a bookstore and whatever book just looks interesting. Yeah, I don't care. Judge a book by its cover. I don't care. If you feel intrigued by it, go to that book and just open a random page. That's what I did with the book I'm currently reading. It's called Fury. I went to Target and I just saw the book and I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. It had an evil eye on it. And I was like, that feels like a big call to me. And that is like so ironic and so in my face. It's funny that the universe would do that. And I went over there for like shits and giggles just to check out the book. And I flipped to a random page and it ended up being so creepily touching that I was like, holy crap. And so I've read, I think I'm on page 166. I went back to the beginning and I just naturally felt like I didn't want to put it down. I love the way the author writes. It's so fascinating and human and mind-bogglingly thought-provoking. But I think what also helped me gain the perspective that I have today is I was raised in an extraordinarily strict, scary Christian household. It was terrifying. It was absolutely stuff of nightmares, so scary. And I believed in God so much. I still do. But I knew what I was being taught was not the truth because it wasn't love. It did not feel like love. I did not feel good. I did not feel safe. I did not feel worthy or happy. And I was like, this cannot be what God is, what religion is. I don't identify with any religion anymore. But ever since I was a kid, I think I learned more through just watching YouTube. I'm more of a audio and visual learner. I don't really learn through reading that much, unless it's fantasy, because I observe other people's behavior. I'm an observer. I'm a loner. I've never really fit in anywhere. I've always preferred to be alone. I keep to myself. I enjoy talking to people very much, but I'm not good with large crowds. Like I am good with large crowds if I go in alone and I know that no one's going to talk to me and I can just be in the middle of the room and observe. So that's it doesn't, because I feel invisible, so I actually feel safe in large crowds because I'm so invisible and I love it. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah. I felt like an odd little alien growing up. A sad, lonely, confused outsider alien. My family didn't really love me. It's so sad. I try not to think about it too much anymore. And I didn't fit in at school. I was kind of weird. I mean, once I went through puberty and people started caring about how you look, I kind of got shoved in with the popular crowd at first. Quotes unpopular, aka people who just are bitches and everyone secretly makes fun of them behind their back. They're not even popular. I think the whole popular kid has been extinct. They're literally just dumbasses. But yeah, even with them, I could tell like I was just around them because of how I looked. And they didn't really like me. Like, I was always the one to get left out. I was always the one that got shoved to the side. And they were fake nice to me, but then they awful behind my back, which was not fun. And then I fell in more with the people who were more my speed, the druggies. I wasn't too much of a drinker back then because I didn't like the way that they drank, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a big party person and I don't want to like get, I'm more of a chill drinker. Like, I just like to be drunk all but I don't want to be in unsafe environments where there's like cars and people get hurt. So yeah. And then after high school, I just kind of stopped talking to everyone. And I left home. So now, I currently live in an apartment. As I'm making this, though, I currently don't know if I have a home. And I slept in an airport, which I'm very grateful for. I'm very grateful to have... I don't know why I'm getting choked up talking about this. That's weird. I don't like that. But yeah, I observe people and I research. I do a lot of research and I write a lot and I've created my own philosophy. I've written so much, actually. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm 18. I'm 18 and yeah, I'd like to think I'm pretty wise. I've created my own whole fucking philosophy. I mean, it's a mixture of like everyone's. I don't know. My advice is if you want to learn more, listen more. You don't know, like, even though I think I'm very wise. Thank you. I do believe that. I also know that there's infinite knowledge out there and you can learn something from every single person because we all hold snippets, a little piece that the other person will never like have. So I talk to people and I learn everything that I can. And people like that. People enjoy talking about themselves. I mean, I have a whole fucking podcast where I just talk about myself. Because anyways, yeah, people like the fact that I listen and I enjoy gaining their knowledge. So listen, observe, do what feels good. There's so many ways of doing something. There's so many ways of learning. You don't have to learn in the way that they say you have to learn. That was something really hard for me to learn. Because I have ADHD, which I don't like calling it ADHD. I have ADD, and I can be very reckless and compulsive. Yeah, I don't learn the same that most people do. I have to really fuck something up. I have to get really, I don't know. But I'm learning, and I've already made it in my head. But one last thing, like, seriously, there are so many podcasts out there. There is so much information out there. It's absurd. I don't know. I don't think necessarily reading books is the most efficient way to learn, because I could watch a bunch of podcasts that are like 3 hours long and put it in 2 times speed, crack it out in 3 hours, like if I watch multiple ones, and gain so much more knowledge, and then write a whole bunch and dissect it. And that's, oh, is that not even recording? Damn it.